Hello everyone, welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. First of all, look, a lot of people, about 40% of you that watch these videos, don't end up subscribing. So make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Bayern Munich content. But outside of that, let's talk about Kai Havertz. I wasn't going to make another thing on this. We talked about Kai Havertz this morning, and now, after a few hours, there's been a bit of an update. So this is coming out from Christian Falk, who is the Bayern guy when it comes to transfers and Bayern news and taking an inside look at the club. What he said with an interview with the United Report, which is a United's version of almost like they do everything around Manchester United. Basically, he said in relation to Kai Havertz that there's the two British clubs that are in for Kai are United and Chelsea. Chelsea have offered Kai Havertz a more concrete offer, and they've given him a bigger plan than Manchester United, and they've been more convincing and also fast. We know this about Chelsea. This is what I respect about Chelsea. They're very fast at transfers. They want a player, they get him. Eden Hazard was like, I want to leave. Go! They just do it very, very fast and efficient. And this is the biggest threat to Bayern in this transfer window. Chelsea's our biggest threat because Kai Havertz cannot go to Chelsea. He can't. Now, we do have a bigger package in terms of convincing him. We're a bigger club, we have more fans, we have a bigger stadium, a better atmosphere. It's not about that in this case with Kai Havertz though. You have to convince him with sporting ways. Where is he going to play on the pitch and how much are you willing to go to get him in the first 11? Because that Bayern team is the best in the world. We're going to win the Champions League even without Kai Havertz. So you're wondering to yourself, where is Kai going to play? How is he going to fit into the team? Is he just going to drop in? Who is he going to replace in that team? Now, there's a lot of positions. If Sané comes in, well, then Gnabry and Sané for wings. But then where's Kai going to play? Because Müller is in the form of his career. And then Lewandowski's in the form of his career. There's no way in that team that Kai Havertz plays. So it's really not about convincing Kai Havertz about our club. Because he's going to want to join us. I bet you he has his shortlist. Bayern, number one, and then the other clubs. Right? But if Chelsea are offering Kai Havertz a starting position in their team, because let's think about this. Ziyech plays on the right-hand side. Werner on the left. Abraham up top. Who plays in the hole? Mason Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, whoever Chelsea have. Kai Havertz walks into Chelsea's team as their best player. He's literally like the Eden Hazard in that team. Just walks in. Because right now, the numbers Havertz is putting up, 15 goals, 8 assists, that's freaking world class for a 21-year-old. He just turned 21. Happy birthday, Kai. We're always going to be talking about your transfer. But he turns 21 today. And now people are like, oh, well, Bayern can get him next season. Shut up. Just stop talking. Kai Havertz has been at Leverkusen for close to 5 seasons now. Since the 2015-16 season. He's been gradually improving and getting more and more involved in Leverkusen, getting more goals and assists. I would say last season, actually the season before was really, like 3 years ago. That's crazy. It was really the season where he solidified himself as a talent. And then now, 30 seasons of being top level, now he's world class. This season, towards the beginning, he didn't start off right. But then, now you're looking at him every single week. Every game, he's getting an assist or a goal. He's getting involved. He's the player for Leverkusen. He's the main man. He's literally their captain. That's how good he is. That's how much they want to keep Kai Havertz. They gave him the captain's armband for a 20-year-old, 21-year-old. He can drink in America now, but he could have bought a gun 3 years ago. Kind of a weird law. But with this guy, we just can't miss out on Kai. We can't. Look, I love Thomas Müller. He's doing great. He's our best cam in the world right now. Because De Bruyne is not playing, but best cam in the world right now for Müller. That's it. With Müller and the team playing well, Bayern play well. But the future is not Müller. It's 2 years from now, we won't be talking about Müller. We'll be talking about a different guy. We'll be talking about Kai Havertz. People keep telling me, well, why don't we go for someone like a Dani Olmo, someone like that, or someone that's not as good, but at that level. No, we're Bayern Munich. Bayern's ambition, I talked about it a few weeks ago. Somehow the video did very well. I thought it was just a regular video, but Bayern plan to dominate the next decade. The way to do that is to get the best German players and some of the best foreign players. If you get Sané and Havertz in one window, you have the best German players. You have the entire German national team. That's what Real Madrid have done. That's what Barcelona have done. In the 2010 Spain team that won the World Cup, I think 7 or 8 Barcelona players were in the starting 11. That's the type of domination we're talking about. Germany won the World Cup in 2014. Guess which country got to the Champions League final? German teams. Bayern and Dortmund. And guess who won? Bayern. And guess how many players from the national team played for Bayern? 6 or 7. That's the type of ambition Bayern wants. And what we missed for the last 7 years, I would say, was that we obviously had the team, but we just never had the backbone. Now, not only do we have the backbone through Hansi Flick, we have a little bit of the team still, and I think we can add more to that. We should be making these signings. Lucas Hernandez, I'm proud that the club, even though a lot of people are criticizing Lucas, saying he's a flop. I don't personally think he's a flop. I just think we haven't given him enough time. But I love the fact that the club just decided, hey, we like this guy. Bang, 70 million release clause. Get him. Pavard, 35 million. Bang, most expensive right back we've ever had. Most expensive player we've ever had. We broke 2 records. Javi Martinez has been our record signing for a long time. For 35, 34, 30 something million when he came. And then we broke that with Pavard and broke it, even doubled it with Lucas Hernandez. That's the type of ambition I'm talking about. And we've shown that over the last 2 seasons, especially when we knew, damn, we lost to Liverpool. I think that hits Bayern because Bayern aren't used to losing in our own stadium. Usually we lose away from home. We lose by scoring goals. We got absolutely dismantled by Liverpool. And I don't think Bayern want to ever see that, especially at the Allianz. We are supposed to be a top 3 club. We can't have Liverpool roll up to our stadium feeling all good and confident. And I think that's where ambition comes in. Where does Bayern want to be this decade? Are we going to be like, oh man, let's keep Müller for 2 more seasons, and then he declines and we never replaced him. And then in 2 seasons, Havertz is packing us with hat-tricks in the Champions League semi-final and quarter-final with Chelsea. Is that what we want? Because if Kai Havertz goes to Chelsea, Werner's at Chelsea, Tammy Abraham, and all these kids, and Chelsea buy a new left back, Chelsea all of a sudden can actually compete for the Champions League. Chelsea all of a sudden will compete for their league titles. And guess what? The team that gets the statement signings done at the beginning of every new decade usually dominate. It is a fact. It's what usually happens. Bayern from 2010 to 2013. If you look at who we signed, Neuer, I think Ribéry, and Ian Robin. These 3 players I think we signed around 2009 and 2010. At the beginning, these were our level of Galacticos. These players became world class for us. And that's exactly what we need to do this decade. We know our opportunity is there with Sané. I've never seen Bayern go out and link themselves to a player like Sané where he's like this good. And he's already world class. Sané's world class. On his day, he's literally a top 3 winger in the world. And you look at how we're linked to him and what we want, it tells me Bayern's ambition is there. But we also have to be very fast. We also have to be looking at Chelsea. Like I said at the beginning of the video, of course we have the package in terms of convincing the player. We have the fans. We have everything. We have a bigger stadium. We have everything that Chelsea does not have. We have a better atmosphere, everything. Kai Havertz should want to play for Bayern. But the question isn't about Havertz and where he wants to play, because we know he'll want to play for us over Chelsea anyways. Any player should want to play over Bayern over Chelsea. Play on Bayern. Wow, that's terrible English. But the question isn't about Havertz. It's about us. Do we want to be ambitious enough to know that here's a player that's going to be on top of his game for the next 10 years? He's already world class. Remember, Müller came through and he was already world class. There's players like this. These are generational talents. There's a lot of players that need 3 years, 4 years to be like 23, 24, and then that's where they're in their prime, like Kimmich. Whereas you have players like Davies and Havertz who are there. He's already there. He might need to improve his physique a little bit, or just get stronger on the ball or something, or be a better dribbler. That comes with experience. But he's already world class right now. The numbers he's putting up, like I keep saying, are world class numbers. Any team that wants the ambition to be at the top for the next decade wants to have Havertz. That was great English. Needs to have Havertz. And I think players like this are once in a decade. You don't get that many players. Havertz is going to be competing for the Ballon d'Or. I'm not kidding, dude. If Havertz is playing for Bayern in Germany, assuming we win the Champions League at the Allianz in 2022 with him, what makes you think he won't be in conversations to win the Ballon d'Or if he's putting up 15 goals, 20 goals and 15 assists? Havertz's numbers are impressive now because he's playing for Leverkusen, who are a worse side than us. Now think about it. Bayern Munich, Leverkusen might average 52% possession in a game, while Bayern average 62%, 10% more than Leverkusen. So imagine these goals and all these assists. Imagine instead of getting 8 assists now, he's getting 12 assists. And instead of 15 goals, he's getting 22 goals. And now all of a sudden, the guy's in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or. All of a sudden, he's packing teams in the Champions League quarterfinals and semifinals. And France football are going to be like, damn, that Havertz kid is looking good. And also, what does Havertz do for the younger generation in Germany? Buying a player like Havertz makes people of Havertz's age. Because now everyone loves Müller, but I would say that the people that love Müller were people that really got invested in Bayern. Like, last decade. For me, it was Arjen Robben. My player was Robben. And that's the reason I support the club the way I do. He's given me so much, Arjen Robben. I want to meet him someday. I wrote it in that book. That's the guy I want to meet. If I want to meet anyone from Bayern, I want to meet Arjen Robben. Just tell him how much he helped me out, because I could have been depressed over the last few years. But watching Bayern has definitely kept me and my energy and my spirit high. And then you're thinking about the next generation. Who are they going to support? Who are they going to look at and up to? They're going to look up to Havertz. They're going to look up to him. Müller is amazing. He's a legend. Legit. He's going down as a legend of football. The guy literally has a position that he made. If someone doesn't know what a ram de terre is, ask Müller. Now, he literally took a word and made a position out of it, or a role. He is a legend of the game. His play style is a legend. Is legendary to football. Players that you would never really consider for your team, who are only intelligent but never really fast or big and strong and powerful. Now all of a sudden these players can be considered because of Müller. And Havertz is that next generation. Highly technically elegant, right? There's this next generation coming up with João Felix, Kylian Mbappe, Alphonso Davies, even I guess Trent Alexander-Arnold in a way, and your Wan-Bissakas. There's a new generation coming through. And there's a generation that's ending. That's the kids that were born in the 1992s. Now they're all 27. Soon they'll be 28, 29, 30. And then they start declining and start getting less recognition. But I think with Bayern and the ambition that the club has, we have to go out and make the statement signing. It won't even be about Havertz has to play. It has to be the fact that we're Bayern Munich and we don't let anyone touch us. And that's what makes people not hate us. I think a lot of German people might, to the outside of the world, hate Bayern because we succeed. But I think they're jealous. That hate isn't coming from you're a terribly run club. They respect us, but they're jealous. That's the problem. Not the problem. It's actually really cool. They're jealous of Bayern because here's a club that was German. German Bundesliga. Bundesliga isn't a commercialized league. It's not really that easy to make money, but we have a stadium with 75,000 people in it. We make billions every decade. We are one of the richest clubs in the world. We're on top. We have 5 Champions League trophies. Now, to maintain that, what we've done so well is at the beginning of every decade, we usually make these statement signings. Now, obviously, we're going to make signings in between. Lewandowski will be replaced this decade. He won't be up top forever. But for the time being, for the future of the next 10 years, Kai Havertz has to play for us. He has to. I don't want to see this kid go to Chelsea because it's not good for German football in general for him to go to Chelsea. Werner doesn't really play that much for the national team. I mean, Joachim Low literally moved Sané and Gnabry to be strikers just so he doesn't have to play Werner there. This guy, this funny manager. He literally did it because now Werner will have less of a, even Toni Kroos, these players that leave Germany, they will always be recognized, right? But no one's going to ever think of Kroos in the same conversation and sentence as Bastian Schweinsteiger, although he should be. As Lothar Matthäus, no one's going to think of Kroos, even though he's won all these CLs. They want him to do it in Germany. And a lot of Germans, as much as maybe they're jealous of us and don't like the fact that we succeed, they'll want Havertz to be Bayern's player. They'll want him to stay in Germany because they want to watch him. They want to watch him play against them. They want to watch Bayern in the Champions League semifinals with German international Kai Havertz. I love seeing pictures where it's Gnabry, Kimmich, Goretzka, and Sané and Havertz. These guys just hanging around each other. Young players that are German and they've known each other for a long time. I was watching a documentary. People knew Havertz would be a baller when he was like 14 years old. And I'm like, how did you know he was going to be this good? But that's what the level that Kai Havertz has set for himself. And he set this standard for himself. He's going to come in. He won't walk into our team. That's what I was saying. With Sané coming in, Sané walks into our team. But you always have to wonder, how does Havertz walk into that team? That's the problem, isn't it? It's not even the fact that we can't convince him to join us over Chelsea. It's the fact that we can't convince him to join us over Chelsea in regards to where he'll play in the team. He'll want to start. He'll want to be in the first team. He'll want to be the first name on the team sheet at some point. Muller, he will decline. He'll learn under Muller, which is important. But at the same time, he'll need to be playing games to experience what it's like to play for Bayern. Instead of having Gnabry maybe not play as well, maybe that's where you have Havertz. Instead of having Coman, that's where you have Havertz. So, in relation to Chelsea, congratulations to them. They are in a conversation and they're actually looking like a big contender in terms of a player that's big. They're actually looking close. Chelsea have the money. Chelsea are effective and efficient. Chelsea would not want to link themselves to Havertz if they knew it would tarnish their reputation and they couldn't sign him. So there's something going on behind the scenes, either where it's Bayern being reluctant. We can't be freaking reluctant. I think we're tired of it as fans. We are tired of seeing a player that we know we want leave for another club. De Bruyne should be a Bayern player. Sané should have been a Bayern player in 2016. But we are so tired of that. And we don't want that to happen. Look at the way Real Madrid just took over the Champions League last decade. We let it happen. We're the reason Real Madrid have 3 Champions Leagues in a row in 2016, 17, and 18. Because we let it happen. We dominated from 2010 to 2013. German football was at its peak. We lost 2 Bundesliga titles, and in that we got to 3 Champions League finals. The third one in 2013 was 2 Bundesliga teams. The league was at its peak. And then Pep came in and decided to make us pop the ball in possession, and we were boring side to side, but we scored a lot of goals, so everyone's fine with that. And I think with Hansi Flick now, that personality of a manager, we know Flick can do it because the way he has everyone happy. There's players on the bench that are like, I love playing under Hansi Flick. I'm like, bro, you don't play. What are you talking about? You love playing under Hansi Flick. They're like, I learned so much from Hansi Flick. I'm like, bruh, you're not playing. You don't ever come on. You come on for 2 minutes. And that's what a good manager does. Klopp, look at Klopp. Players are like, I love Jurgen Klopp. I'm like, bruh, you have not had a first team appearance since 2017. What is you talking about? But that's what it is. That's where Hansi Flick has had us now. Now that we have the manager, a young, Flick is only 50 or 53 or something like that. A young manager, now that we have that, a manager that connects with the squad, has a good combination of being a father figure while also being a tactically good, flexible coach. Now that we have a great system, a dominant style of play that also is versatile. We're very versatile in the way we play. We can be defensive and offensive. Now it's time to not only sign the player that manages. Hansi Flick wants Kai Havertz. Hansi has said in a press conference, what manager would be dumb enough not to have Kai Havertz? That's his way, or he didn't say that. He said any manager should want Kai Havertz in their team. What manager wouldn't? That's what he said. But that's his way of saying you'd be stupid and dumb, very stupid not to sign Kai Havertz if you were Bayern Munich. That's his way of saying he wants Kai. And I think we will sign Kai Havertz. I don't know if we'll sign him because Bayern is ambitious enough. Or I don't know. We have to be ambitious though. We have to be active. We have to want to do it. And another thing is that when a manager wants a player, the best way to make sure that manager remains happy and also remains and keeps the attitude and the way we're playing is to sign that player. Imagine Hansi Flick wanted Havertz. The Bayern board didn't sign him because of financial problems. Havertz goes to Chelsea, and like I said, 2 years from now, Chelsea are a solidified team. They're completely rebuilt, and they're packing us. Maybe they sack Lampard, and they're destroying us in the Champions League quarterfinal. Kai Havertz with a hat trick. Will you want to see that? Because Havertz is like a Ronaldo. The guy barely gets injured. He's a machine right now. And I think we need him, and we shouldn't miss out on the opportunity. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. Like I said, subscribe to the channel if you're different, new on here. And yeah, Chelsea, man, looking like a big threat to our plans. And yeah, make sure you smash the like as well, because a lot of people forget, oh, I should leave a like. What leaving a like does is tell YouTube, the YouTube algorithm, hey, that this video was a good one. Then that's it, man. So yeah, Mia San Mia, and peace.